So welcome to everybody to the webinar, Let's Knit Together. It is not a very easy time, this period, but we are more strong maybe to pass this period if we are together. So our needs, or how to say the needs, this particular target group, it was in our attention on the last 2 years. And with pleasure, we create this online event to share innovative approaches on supporting the inclusion of the needs. We organized this event in the framework of a project CEPAL, supporting employment platform through apprenticeship learning, financed by Iceland, Liechtenstein, and Norway through EE and Norway Grants Fund for Youth Employment. My name is Vasi Gafiuk. Let's start with the beginning. And I'm the president of Rukavina Institute, one of the leader partner for this program. And I'm also on the same time CEPAL project coordinator, and with permission of you, I will be your moderator of today. Of course, I would like to see all of you face to face. I like to hug and to talk to you and express my enthusiasm and happiness to be with you. And it's so good to see mostly of you that I already met on the last years, and some of you even this year. And I can see some friends from Romanian National Federation for Social Services Providers, but also the friends that are on this youth employment program. And it's so good to see 5 of very nice projects that I really get in touch. Even in 2017, if I'm looking to Andrej, when I met him first time in Athens. And Marga, I think I saw also there on the program, and other friends, Marianne, of course, and all the speakers of today, and Călin. Where is Dorin Călin? He was the person to put so many questions during the first meeting, and it's still going on this way, and we like him. that's very that's very important aspect. And we are inviting you to write on chat anything about your institutions, because I can see a lot of participants that are not linked directly with our project, with our program. And I would like during this meeting to mention you, because as I told you, it will not be possible to present each other. We have just few speakers and few guests that will be possible to do it, but we'd like to know about you, and you are solidar with our work together to support needs, inclusion, and employability. Of course, I have a special, let's say, communication, I can say, with Grethe Haugøy, the representative of FO in Brussels. And with pleasure, I always meet with her and talk about what we can do together with different funds and calls. So I would like to have a welcome words from you, if it's possible.
Sure. Thank you so much for the invitation and for the opportunity to introduce or speak a little at this webinar. I'll be very brief because I'm very much looking forward to hearing the other presentations. My name is Grethe Haugøy, and I'm the program manager for the Fund for Youth Employment. So I work with the EA and Norway grants in Brussels. And the EA and Norway grants is Norway's, Iceland, and Liechtenstein's contribution to 15 countries in the EU to support social and economic development and strengthen bilateral cooperation between the donor and beneficiary states. The Fund for Youth Employment was established as a niche fund to support existing EU funding on youth employment. While this fund is a very small action, we hope to make a small difference by focusing on long-term funding of the most vulnerable groups, specifically young people between 25 and 29 who are not in employment, education, or training. While the ordinary programs of the EA and Norway grants work on national issues, the main idea of the Fund for Youth Employment is its transnational focus Organizations in countries across Europe work together, and the results of the projects are a joint endeavor. I'm very happy to see that some of the projects we fund have come together today to share experiences and discuss the inclusion of NEETs in the labor market. I'm very much looking forward to hearing about your efforts on how to support NEETs. Considering, the extensive negative effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, it's important that we share our work with a wider European audience so we can all join in the recovery. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Grethe. And also from the ECORIS Poland, let's say the managing fund in which we belong, we have Joanna Polkowska, Katarzyna, and Marka Nowak. And I see they registered, and also some of them are here. Perhaps during the meeting we can talk, or maybe Marka wants to say something.
Well, hello everybody. I'm very glad to see you. I have not prepared any speech for the beginnings, and I don't want to interrupt your event. But I'm very happy to see you all. Very happy to see you cooperating beyond the projects, and I'm very glad to be part of this webinar.
Thank you very much, Marga, and please say greetings to the team of Gianluca and everybody which support us on implementation. I have to tell you that immediately when you start to talk, we had 50 participants. It's amazing. It's a so big number. Even we didn't promote so far, but I have to tell you this event, somehow it was requested by our advisors. We have partners from 5 countries, Romania, Lithuania, Greece, Poland, and Spain. And in every country, we have about 7 experts involved in a CEPAL project, and we used to share our best practice. Of course, after 2 years, it looks like we repeat some of our best practice, and we say how other project promoters share their, or how tools they are, what tools they are using on involving and implementing needs. So this comes really from a meeting with our advisors, and we said, okay, let's see how other partners are, let's say, dealing with this difficult period with the projects. Because I see some of you are very nice and quiet, and you know very well how to use this Zoom structure, but maybe some of you are still noisy, and I ask, please put the microphone on mute if you are not a speaker. If you want to address any question for speakers, please type them on the chat function, and we will answer immediately or at the end of the session. If you want to share this event, you have the possibility to share the link, which is posted on Facebook/projects@all, because we are live now on Facebook as well. Also, this event will be recorded. So for those who are interested more to share the content, we will send it to you based on your registration, the link where this event will be shared, and of course will be on YouTube and so on. As I mentioned, we are at least 5 countries here: Romania and Spain, Lithuania, Greece, and Poland. But of course, we have 2 more countries that we invited today to present the best practices, from Slovenia and Croatia. We invited another 2 lead projects from Romania, because we are in the same country, we apply together, we compete together, and we suffer together this period, because we have more or less the same target group, even we are completely set in different region. Romania, it's a big country. But also I see on the registration we have participants from Netherlands. This is really nice, and I appreciate their time to come to this event. The event is expecting to answer at least 3 questions, very much wanted by our CEPAL advisors. To clarify this wiser name, I would like to say that it's linked directly with work integration social enterprise, and those are specialists which are supporting NEET to employment. They are offering these services. So one of the questions, it was about what innovation brings your project in general, and we will very much want to listen that. What tools that you use in working with NEET produce effects and can be, let's say, maybe share it with us, because we try to support all the NEETs that are registered so far to our platform, and we have more than 1,000 NEETs registered, but we face different situations with particular target groups. So we would like to find the success story about this particular target NEETs. And of course, one success story that you have so far after 2 years of the project, and I'm sure there are a lot, but at least those which can be shared with us, we'll be very happy to hear. So I can say hello and welcome to my colleagues from these four countries, and including Romania and 5 countries. And of course, I'll give the floor to my colleague to present our best practice first as a model maybe for the presentation, but I'm sure Andrej, Marianne, Călin, and Nicu will have also very interesting best practices to share with us. And we have one, let's say, implemented one logo of our program. We said nothing about NEETs without NEETs. It's not the one that we created. We took it from the European Disability Forum, where they talk nothing about us without us, but we transfer to the NEETs. So Alina, the next speaker, it's our success story. Is a former NEET that we found her recruited by us in 2019, a little bit more than 1 year ago, with great skills and communication and very good speaker. She's an absolvent of social assistance faculty from Stefan cel Mare University from Suceava, with degree on 2 masters on school counseling and emotional education and European management and administration. She started with apprenticeship on our organization, that she moved to the training on the job part, and since February 2020, she's employee on NEET counseling and communication of the project. We are so happy to reach this level, to select a NEET, and then she place our colleagues on the supporting services for NEETs. Of course, Alina Domnica, she's here. She will present a little bit the CEPAL project in a very short way, because we want to give more space to the other best practices. Alina, please.
Hello, everyone. It's very nice to meet you. It's very nice to be here with you. I will share my screen with my CEPAL presentation. Can you confirm me that you can see it? Okay. So we have CEPAL, Supporting Employment Platform Through Apprenticeship Learning, a project that started in 2018 and will be implemented for 36 months. Is financed by EU and Norway Grants, Fund for Youth Employment, implemented by Rukavina Institute in partnership with Spain, Lithuania, Greece, and Poland. As objectives, we aim to create an innovative model for job insertion for 300 NEETs minimum, NEETs aged between 24 and 29 years old that belong to the following vulnerable groups: youth with disabilities, Roma, migrants, low-skilled and school dropouts. The innovation of the project, we have the CEPAL platform, which includes project information, resources, information about the partners, some photos of our activity, a tab where our NEETs can register, a chat function where we communicate with the NEETs. Also, we have the job platform where we post the most recent jobs for the NEETs. A Moodle where us, the Wisers, follow the Moodle training. We have My CEPAL, which is intended for the NEET, and the CEPAL hub for the WISERs. As I said, we have the resources, the innovation book, the apprenticeship book, and the work-based training book. You can see these here, and you have the opportunity to download them from our platform. They are translated in each 5 language that from our partners. Now I will present you some instruments from that we use in our work with the NEETs and during our services, such as information, evaluation, apprenticeship stages, or learning on the job stages, internship, or competency skill evaluation, skills development, or certification. We use for informing the needs, for example, leaflets or brochures. For recruitment, we use the registration form and the consent. For evaluation and assessment, we use vocational profile and initial and final evaluation. For counseling, we have a counseling report. And during the apprenticeship, internship, and learning on the job stages, we have also reports, monitoring forms, and other instruments. On the platform, we also, on the WISERS tab, we have the space where we complete all the information about the needs, and after offering them the necessary services, each tab turns green. Here I have my profile after finishing my 6 months program, formed consisting in the apprenticeship stage and learning on the job stage, 4 months and 2 months. And after the 6 months, I got a certificate, and you can see that my tab is green. Another instrument that we developed later is the evaluation of the needs. We sent a questionnaire to the mentors in order to evaluate 10 basic professional competencies of the needs that were or are in the Learning on the Job program. We created an online form with the help of Google Forms to make our work and their work easier. Also, I mentioned the certificates. We offer certificates not only for the needs, but also for their mentors as a sign of gratitude for guiding the young people. Here we have the certificates with the 10 competencies evaluated with the questionnaire mentioned earlier, and the certificate for the mentors. Here you can see also some photos from our services, information, counseling, job mediation, job clubs, and trainings. And we have one success story, one recent success story. It's about the close cooperation with our local stakeholders, and in order to achieve the CEPAL project goals, we collaborate with local and national authorities, NGOs, associations, that support us with our work with the needs. For example, Rukavina Institute has a long-time partnership with Suceava County Hospital, supporting young people, and not only, who finished the post-secondary school specializing as a nurse by providing volunteering contracts in order for them to gain experience and develop their knowledge through apprenticeship and learning on the job programs. During the first outbreak, due to the lack of the medical staff, the county hospital hired 5 of Rukavina Institute's needs from the CEPAL project, which we supported with all the necessary documents. We have some statistics from November, so you can see we reached our targeted with the supported needs per total per all the 5 countries. We have 310 needs supported. In Romania, also we have 67 needs supported, and needs registered. We have less than 100 that we reach the target. And here's how the statistics looks, more numbers, percentages. This is what my colleague from ICT is working weekly to update the statistics. thank you for watching. I hope you liked my presentation, and I'm looking forward to hear more from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Alina. It was good that you experienced this good meeting on partnership, because I have to tell you the truth that this idea of getting close with the different project financed from the same program, it's not our idea. It used to be a very nice experience coordinated by the FO and the ECORIS and GCI Italy, ECORIS Poland. But unfortunately, this pandemic keep us locally. So we said, why we should not start by our individual to organize such events and try to share these best practices, because really the technology demonstrate this year really have so many possibilities. And okay, we would like, as I said, we would like to drink some Slipovica with Andrej, and to eat some lacum with our Greek partners or different, but of course we will keep in touch even on these restrictions. I'm not very happy about this restriction, because really affect somehow our activities, and especially with needs which are living in marginalized conditions, needs coming from Roma communities, or needs that we plan to implement on the beginning, that it was impossible to get in touch with them by visiting them on the site. I'm not going further with this explanation, but I want to give a word to our next close friend. Of course, we present somehow an agenda, but we try to keep it just for your orientation, because this opportunity really it's good to have more information and more glue. And in meantime, I collect some news from the chat, because it looks that people really want to communicate, and I'm so really happy. So I already take the notes for the participation of representative of Artifactory from Greece, somebody from Thessaloniki. We have Joel Tsera from Budapest. Kyosonom. Hello. We have Kis Pediadrom as representative, and we have Feon SSR representatives as well. So we are not just 7 countries, we are 8 already. So this is really good. I think with Grethe, if we consider that she's right now in Norway or in Grethe or in Belgium, we can consider 2 on the same time. So we have 8 countries participating this time. Andrej Korosec, electrical engineer. It's so nice to hear more details about you, as I know you as a friend, but I didn't know you are on the basement electrical engineering with more than 10 years experience in project and management. Andrej gained the experience working in EU project through FARE and Interreg programs. He's employed at the Public University of TUI. I practice so much this TUI, do not make a mistake. And covering IT education and project management. He's responsible for the daily implementation and management of one e-grants and Norway project, which is full name individual placement and support for needs through education youth technology platform. Andrej is also looking for new additional funding opportunities and plays a liaison role with internal and external stakeholders. It's very good that you mentioned this in your biography, because you should promote this new call by the youth employment, which is ending on 15 January, if I'm not wrong. I didn't pay so much attention because I know I'm not eligible, and you also are not eligible. Definitely, we are looking for this opportunity to cooperate together, because I know from the any times that we met, we have so many common tools and expertise that we can share. So Andrej, you have the floor now, and please share with us your best practice.
Thank you, Vasilia. Just a second. Thank you, Vasilia, again for inviting me. I think it's a great idea and a great opportunity to share the status of our projects and to MET again. What I will talk about in the next slides is about individual placement and support. It's a special method which proves to be very successful, helping young people find a job. And then I will talk about Education Youth Technology Platform, which is software that supports this IPS method. I guess in all beneficiary countries, we have a similar situation. Unemployment of NEETs is high, and they have many issues, like some of them have mental illness, some anxiety, some have addictions, and we are trying to help them. So our project, the main aim is to introduce this individual placement and support method to help young people getting a regular job. And to do that, we had to train the counselors to use this IPS method. And we already did it. We trained 60 counselors, 20 in each country, 20 in Romania, 20 in Hungary, and 20 in Slovenia. And they are already using this IPS method. With this IPS method, it's coming from United States, and it's widely used or strongly used in Great Britain. And also it's like official method in Norway, where our experts are coming from, Phoenix, and they help us introducing this method. It involves intensive support on a daily basis, mostly on a daily basis, to help these young people find a job. I can already see some similarities with the project that Alina presented, your project. So I guess we are going into the similar directions. This IPS method had 8 principles. So we are mostly working with people that wish to work. And our goal is always regular job or a training or education, which will also then continue to regular job. In the team, there can also be involved some job specialists, some psychologists to help them. And when these people are involved in a consultation, we give them advice not to lose the benefits they already have. And job searching or new education searching start immediately, okay, after 1 month. We always ask participant what is his interest, what are his skills. So we are trying to find a job which is according to his interest. Job specialist is calling or connected with employer and help this NEET find a job. And even when they find a job and start working, they can always come back for help. What is our innovation? I would say our innovation is this application supporting IPS method, because this IPS application is used in United States, Great Britain, worldwide, and I haven't found yet that any software which is supporting this application. So I would say this software we have is innovation. On the slide, you can see some statements from our counselors using this application. These counselors, they don't have the same background. Some could be social worker, some could be engineer, some could be a teacher. So they don't have the skills to ask NEETs all the questions. And in this application, we have a questionnaires, so that we get the broad and the deep picture of NEET. Then what is also the good side, that this method is forcing the counselor to be systematic approach. And it also provides the history of work with NEET. We also presented this application on the state level to Institution for Adult Education, and they also find it very, very good, and that this is application that could be applicable to other areas working with youth people. This is the web application. This is the front side. In this application, we can register NEET, his data, his issues, his skills, his problems. Then we have action plans. With the consultants, they set up the action plan. What are the next steps? This application provides statistics. We have different type of NEETs. Some have addictions, some have mental issues, but most of them, they want to work. That's very important. They want to work. We are 3 partners from Romania, Hungary, and Slovenia. And we also have a website and Facebook. Facebook community is mainly used for counselors, so they can exchange information. They can follow how successful we are. As I mentioned, our first successful story would be our application. And the second one is that despite the COVID, the number of NEETs we are working on is still growing. We are keeping this number growing. We contact them. The best is if we can contact them face-to-face, but sometimes we also contact them through telephone or outside in park. Or I would say we're using as many channels as possible to contact them and to keep the pace. That's also important, to keep the pace of the project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Andrej, for your presentation. I think my colleagues from the WISE network get the clue about this tool that you promoted so much. And as you mentioned, we always say the same things. We don't invent the wheel. The wheel exists. We just try to adapt to our situation, to our target group, and to our let's say local environment in order to make more useful. So I have a specific question to you. If this platform that you described can be used from someone which is outside of the partnership consortium, or is just linked to your partners?
At the moment, it's only for partners because it has a sensitive data and it has to be closed.
Yeah.
But in the future, we plan or hope to provide it also for other people interested in.
Thank you very much. We are very interested to get close to this application. Maybe we can pilot, because we really invest a lot of money within this project as well to build our own platform and our own application, which so far it worked properly. A matter of statistics, a matter of working, avoid paper, because we understand from this wonderful program they don't really like a lot of paper. And we are so happy because we used to create so much paper with other funding programs that we get over. So this is really good that this grant, this opportunity of funding really give us the freedom to build our tools and reporting and so on in so way that we can have a control, to be transparent, but also do not abuse of the data, as you mentioned. Thank you very much, Andrej, for your intervention.
Thank you.
I know the University of Tui has a lot of other interesting projects that we are looking very much, even with Phoenix, our partner, our common partner from Sandefjord, Norway, to try to get together in a close cooperation in the future. Yes, also I mentioned that your indication related with NEETs, that during this pandemic situation increased the number. We have the same situation, because a lot of NEETs which used to work daily by day with work, they now get closed somewhere, and they are using internet mostly, or they also get in touch for job opportunities. And I think it's really good that we really create, and we've been prepared, completely prepared on 2017 in our proposal for such a situation right now. Even I have to recognize, I didn't mention on the risk category a pandemic, a possible pandemic, but the pandemic come and really find us prepared to go on with the project. So as your project, our project, we never stop to work on it because we really have the tools prepared. The sad part is a lot of NEETs, according with our statistics, especially in Romania, I can say 60% of them, they don't have ICT skills. This is a big problem. I'm looking to the PISA, most discussing PISA results. We also have this situation that the basic skills on computer, which is now an important competencies on any job, doesn't matter you are a cleaner, you really has to know how to use ICT devices, put us in a situation to develop somehow ICT basic training, extra that the project planned it was. So I think these ICT competencies really remain as a major need in our target group, for our target group to get involved. Very, very interesting aspects, and I'm so good, it's so good for us and for me especially to see these similar parts that we are working together on personal development, but also make link with job market and also on ICT. Thank you again, Andrej, and to your team, because I know behind of this wonderful project, it's a lot of work and a lot of people are working, and greetings to everybody. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Vasilia.
Now I have to move to a very dear friend as well, Marianne, which I told you something very short because she has a very interesting biography, but just a little bit to make you familiar. She's a French girl. I never know that she was born in France, but she moved in US where she worked in civil society for so many years. But she's very young, I can tell you this, because she has a very young spirit and a lot of positive energy. Even via online, I can feel her smile on the screen, really, Marianne. She's a GTF coordinator, so she's also co-founder, Initiative for Sustainable Growth, co-founder and director. In the framework of this sustainability pact for Southern East Europe. She started this in 1999. Very nice, let's say, year. But she established the GTF, which means Gender Task Force. She has a massive experience and mission on West Balkan and Bosnia and Herzegovina. She worked from policy, but she also, since 2001, she's based in Zagreb and work in Croatia, where she initiate and coordinate more than 25 regional projects and programs. I think this program, if we consider the expertise of the promoters of the project, really bring a lot of multidisciplinary expertise, which is absolutely necessary when we are talking about inclusion, when we are talking about supporting employment. I don't know, Marianne, what else I should select from your nice biography, but I want just to say that you are one of the leader of a project, Raise Youth Project, rural youth employment in 4 EU countries. And I'm so happy that you also have a partner from Romania, our. I will let you to tell about this later on. I mean, not later on, right now. Okay, Marianne, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. And it's such a pleasure to be here with you online. It's almost like we're together again. So greetings to everyone. And can I just go right ahead to the presentation and then add some of my comments before? So I'll try to share the screen. Here we go. Here it goes. Can everybody see? Yeah, okay. So you heard about the Raise Youth Project, the Rural Action for Innovative and Sustainable Entrepreneurship for Youth. Let me just move to the slideshow. Okay, here we go. Okay, so the first thing I'd like to share with you, instead of giving you a lot of this information in a very dry way, is to show you a short video we used to motivate our NEETs last year. See if it works. we use this in the rural areas of Croatia, and then it helped us in a very hard time to gather people to get them interested. A short animated video by a very young creative team in Croatia. It'll take a moment.
Your playground was.
Oops.
Doesn't work to us. I don't know.
No.
Oh.
Oh, no, not possible.
Not possible,
Sorry?
but it's good to have the link. I will share the link
Okay.
on chat.
We will share the link later. Okay,
Yes.
it's not
And
waste everyone's
we can
time.
share the link on chat, and then people can see it. Yes.
Okay, let me just try to get out of this one. Back to the PowerPoint. Okay, so what we had was a short motivation video. It takes about 2 minutes, and we realized that in advance, thankfully, of the whole COVID situation, that outreach was going to be an issue regardless. Getting in touch with rural people was not an easy thing. It's not new to us, but in these times, it became extremely challenging, and we just adapted. This is just the way things go. Who we gathered in our project, first of all, to not ignore them, are important partners from 4 countries, as you mentioned, Romania, of course, with AUR, but also our partners from Bulgaria, an NGO from Bulgaria, Center for Sustainable Communities Development, Stanimira, if you remember her, as well as 2 partners from Spain, a local community close to Madrid, and a technological park in Extremadura towards the Portuguese border, who gave us and still give us a lot of insights and a lot of expertise. In the meantime, we added a local partner from Croatia, local community where our center is based, and most recently an IT company called Factory, which is helping us to develop our IT tools, which I'll tell you a bit more about later. Next is something about some of the good practices, some of the fun and happy things we've been doing. We, even if we are masked people, usually when we gather, we still are able to gather in several countries. In Romania, Bulgaria, and Croatia in particular. Spain has had much more difficulty with any kind of gathering, as you can imagine. So they did what is a common activity for all of us, a social service jam, for the first time online, which brings together people, NEETs, and other interested stakeholders to try to come up with unique, innovative solutions in a cooperatory way. We did other online things in Romania, for example, our digital skills camp. I agree with you, Vasi, that such a high number of the NEETs in the rural areas have very, very low skills in digital skills. And for them, it was really crucial to just raise up the basic literacy level. But not to just move into the virtual. As you can see in the lower right-hand corner, we also had beekeeping and other types of rural activities, which were very practical for a lot of our rural youth. So our goal is actually to combine the digital together with the agricultural and with tourism as an additional income generation activity. Neither of them to be separate, but always to be combining with each other and increasing the, let's say, the absorption rate and the ability to apply it to self-employment or to creating a business. For yourself, becoming an entrepreneur, which for us is our focus, our project focus. What we have accomplished so far, even if we have faced many obstacles, we really went far beyond our expectation of 2,000 NEETs, and we already have some 4,000 NEETs participating in some activity. It's like the entry-level number, right? So twice as many as we thought we could have happen. And I remember how the Norwegians were telling us from the very first moment don't worry if you don't find the needs, don't worry, because it's a hard job. Well, we're really happy to say we surpassed what was expected at the beginning. There's a huge interest, in particular in Romania. In Romania, you are a big country with lots of people that need support. So Romania gave us the majority of these participating needs, which is good. What we wanted to do in each country was to establish a focal point center, a raised demo center, and have succeeded to do so in Spain, Croatia, and Bulgaria. In Romania, we are going to do a decentralized approach in 4 different municipalities towards the Black Sea area, in order to follow up with all of these interested needs, not having them able to travel very far, and to get local centers working for them with good mentors to support them further. We're currently working on establishing the RAISE model, which means how do we put all of our components together and make it work? The most important component, of course, for us is related to the business side of things. Are our needs going to be startups? And we knew that the numbers weren't going to be very high. What we can say so far is that in Croatia, which has gone the farthest with our incubation, we started with already 50 needs in the incubation stage. And 28 of our 250 needs have already become either employed or self-employed. We have already some 7 or 8 registered businesses already, even though we have 1 more year to go, a little bit more than 1 year to go, which for us is even more than we expected at this stage. It will allow us in the next year to build upon individual businesses and network them and connect them to each other, which is really important for us, including a social entrepreneurship model of some kind of clustering or coalition building between these different businesses to work together. What is not unique to us, but what is really, really important to us in the communities where we are working is that these needs are not alone and not working only as youth with us. The whole families and the whole communities have now felt the need to cooperate and actually see an added value to be working inside the project. They see a benefit. We have non-NEETs participating in our activities a lot because we realized that the whole area is actually socially and economically depleted and facing a lot of depression, as we've heard already, and facing a lot of difficulties even before these epidemics, right? So the fact that they feel this is part of their community is for us one of the guarantees or one of the hopes that in the next year we can really make this something that will last beyond our project. And this is the only way we want to do any kind of project anyways, is to find a way to keep it going and to keep up this activity, reform it, of course, in a new time, in a new way, but to make sure that all of this investment, it's a huge one, keeps giving something back to the community. Just a short point, because Andrej has made his presentation already regarding upcoming happy news. Next year we will have some online tools available, including tourist apps that are being created, free tourist apps in Bulgaria and Croatia, which integrate new NEET businesses, but also existing rural businesses, service providers, to draw attention to unvalorized tourist areas. In both of our countries, in Bulgaria and Croatia, we are in the mountain areas, and there's a lot of local people that would like to be part and gain from the tourist industry and have no access to such a way. So we are incubating the whole community somehow to get to use such a tool. But also we have in the making a crowdsourcing tool for our needs, which is, we wanted to do crowdfunding, if you remember, crowdfunding and crowd farming. It was our plan. The legislation in Croatia has not made it possible to make a sort of legal tool to take in money for our startup ideas at this point, even though it might change in the next coming year. So in the meantime, we are making a crowdsourcing tool, which means young business ideas can register themselves and promote themselves in an online tool that will make it possible for people who want to offer their money or their knowledge or their tools or goods to these young people's business ideas to help them move forward. So it's a matchmaking somehow place. It's called crowdsourcing, and we hope to promote it next year in a similar type of conference, maybe that we could hold and you could all be our guests then. So just to wrap up, we are also available in all the different formats in Facebook and in our webpage for the project, raiseyouth.com. Please come and join us, and thank you so much for this opportunity.
Wow, Marianne, I cannot stop to take notes. That means you have a lot of nice and a lot of interesting topics and also tools that you presented that can be transferred and shared with us. And we are so happy to be part of this movement. Anyway, perhaps my colleagues from the 5 countries will ask me why Marianne has a project of 3.1 million euro and you have a project of 1.5 million euro. I can say you that with 3.1 million euro, it's more work, of course, more risk. And I think this is very important to make an attention. And of course, larger indicators. A project can be bigger if you have trusted partners. And I think this is it's based on your expertise, Marianne, that you worked for so many years in this area. So it was easy for you to handle. But for me, I can tell you that it's scary to talk about 3.1 million euro. And I tell you why. Because on the beginning, we faced a situation with this guarantee contract that we couldn't get from any bank in Romania, and especially for NGO.
Yeah.
And it was a very stressful moment for us. And I had to put my house on a bank to get, as a guarantee, to get the letter of guarantee to get the pre-financing. So I think for 3.1 million euro, I never get. But I think now the situation is changed, and it's good that we have a lot of cooperation with the FO. And finally, we got this letter from a non-financial bank institution. And I'm so happy to announce you that in the consortium of FEUNSSE and another network in Romania, we had the possibility this year to build our own non-financial institution. It's based on social enterprise and economy, because you mentioned very much on your presentation. So the things are moving. We must have courage to write ambitious projects with great impact and to fight even we have coronavirus. And I think this incubating all community sounds perfect for coronavirus time.
Absolutely.
Because you put people protecting them inside of community. It's a fantastic. I think also this agro-tourism digital model, which is race model, I think can be easily transferred and really to have access to this free application that you mentioned. It's fantastic. And thank you very much to share with us this very good example. I have one question to you. Do you finance the startup for self-employed, or you are supporting them to find the money for startup? Because I understand part of the NEETs will start their own job. How you finance this part?
It's a good question, and usually with incubation, this should be a part of the story. But in our case, we have only the possibility, if needed. So far, it has not been needed to cover the cost of the business registration. It's not a very small. It's a very small amount of money, so it's not the deciding factor. Let's say like this. For us, it was more important to set the environment. And when we began in the rural regions, I can speak to Croatia most specifically, that there was actually a lot of funds around. that most of these rural people had no access to the information, even in from their own local towns and counties and things like this. Small funds have been available. We have this youth guarantee, as you know. All of us have it. In Croatia, it's the employment service is offering something around almost 10,000 euros to a startup, to a self-employment person, if they are on the registry of unemployed persons. And what we found is that a lot of young people didn't want to take this money because they didn't understand how to set up a business. They didn't feel safe to start, even if there was 100,000 offered to them. This was not the crucial factor. Secondly, what we were surprised in some way about, we spent about a year to do the research on the ground, preparing. Well, we weren't spending too much money waiting for the guarantee, but that time was well used, I would say, in preparation. And we realized how much of the family resource is really still available. The NEETs are living with their families still, even the ones 25, 28, 30 years old, they're still at home. And maybe they will never leave. In the rural areas, they are oftentimes related to the family farms or some kind of agricultural resource. So for them, it was more, for us, it was more, how do we get, for example, the parents or the grandparents to give the reins of the family farm to the young person, which is in our culture a difficult thing for them to give up the power of the land to the young people. This is a major challenge, but this is a major resource also. And we were really happy that there are so many rural resources that we would probably discount when you look at the GDP and things like this. They don't look, they look like very deprived areas, but in reality, there's a lot of resources around. And when the crowdsourcing comes into play, it will allow financing also to come in directly. We will monitor, but it will allow actually a cash flow between the NEET and the former NEET, I should say, and a potential donor, and of course in a transparent way. So, but believe it or not, this was not the most important point for our young people.
That's amazing to hear that, Marianne. Thank you very much again for your intervention. And please insert on the chat the link for the film, because our 55 participants at this moment, they are really looking for
it. I promise I'll add it on.
That we can use immediately. Thank you very much, Marianne.
Very good. Okay.
I have to tell you that I'm jealous when Marianne says that they piloted Romania on the Black Sea area. Why not in Bukovina? Because we are up to the north of Romania, close to the border of Ukraine. But when we say we've been jealous just for a few seconds, because then we say, oh, we have our friend Nicu there with HAO, with Health Action Overseas organization. And Nicu, it was, even he has a different look. Now, after this period, I didn't see you, Nicu, for more than 1 year. You have a long hair and a different look, but we are always appreciate your picture on Facebook with your skateboard and all this very neat activity, let's say. Nicu, it's Nicolae Dobrescu, is the Chief Executive of Health Action Overseas organization, with over 20 years experience in managing national and international programs and projects in the area of social inclusion of vulnerable people. With a background in law, financial and project management, he has extensive experience in implementing and reporting of EU funding projects. Very important, reporting. So I guess you also finished the third report, or the third report. In 6 months, we have this period with FO, which I have to say thank you again to our Coris, because they always give support on reporting, and we had a very good feedback so far. Even we have something to complete, but not that long list that we expect. From other funds when they are looking for tricky, let's say, documents. So, Nicu, I will not say something more. I want to let you present your wonderful project called LEAD, Labor Market Employment for Young Adults with Disability, because disability, this needs with disability, it's part of our target group as well on CEPAL, and we found a lot of difficulties on implement them on work-based training programs. So we are really curious and to hear your best practice and how you succeed. Please, Nico.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, Vasile, first of all. And it's good to see the colleagues from the other projects on Fund for Youth Employment. Most of you already know, but I'm going to do a short presentation of our project, which I'm going to talk you through, if you don't mind. Our project focuses on transferring of knowledge and best practice, good practice models from United Kingdom. There's 3 beneficiary countries. There's Lithuania, Portugal, Romania, plus an expert partner from United Kingdom. So it's a transnational project. And how are we going to transfer and implement the supported employment into our countries? Which supported employment, I have to tell you, that's the secret. I mean, we are delivering social services. We work directly with people with disabilities, and the whole thing about the epidemic, the pandemic, has slowed down the contacts we have to have with our beneficiaries. But luckily for us, it has just slowed it down. And in the meantime, we are trying to build connections and to establish as many contacts as possible with, first of all, our target group, young adults with disabilities, companies that we are delivering consultancy to, specialists from the public sector and from other employment providers in Romania, and not the least important factor that we have discovered, the families of the young adults with disabilities, which play a major role in their employment, in getting a job, securing the job on the open labor market, and retaining a job on the open labor market. So how did we do that? We have established supported employment centers that work directly with our beneficiaries in all the 3 beneficiary countries. We have a supported employment center in Constanța, where, and I'm going to say it again, we were lucky. We had such an unexpected response. There was such a high need for such services in Constanța. We have established a network of supported employment providers. So far, we've had 9 other organizations that have joined our network, and might need to mention that Health Action Overseas have been accepted as associate member in the European Union of Supported Employment, and we are trying to promote the services, the 5 steps of supported employment as much as possible, because as I mentioned, there's a huge need for that, and we intend to continue to deliver the services even after we finish this particular project, because it's important. The innovative aspect that we said right from the beginning we are going to develop through the project was this training material for family members of young adults with disabilities. We have finished developing the materials, and we have delivered training sessions to family members of young adults with disabilities in all 3 beneficiary countries. And we are going to set up, from the connections we had with the family members across these training sessions, we are going to set up self-help groups with some of them taking the initiative, and for others to get together and to share the experiences that they have, and provide support to one another. In terms of indicators, so that gives a bit of weight to our work. We have managed to reach 72% of our target group, which is 324 people involved out of the 450 in total that we said we would. So 324 young adults with disabilities have been registered in our records, and we are keeping in contact with. Out of these 322, 266 of them have gone further, as I said, through the steps of supported employment, and they have a vocational profiling done, and 840, the main outcome is that we have managed to employ in all 3 partner countries 70 people with young adults with disabilities. And we are now developing a guide of good practice for employment, in employment for young adults with disabilities. We have just finalized the draft, and we're going to have it ready by the end of this year. So in order to find out more about it, just get in touch with us or visit our project webpage. And also the newsletter number 4, our lead newsletter number 4 is coming up. We're going to have some of our success stories listed. So be sure to keep an eye on our project webpage and get in touch. Thank you
very much, Nico. I already take many notes. I just put just few keywords that I found particularly very applicable to our project and to our area. Can we join your network? We are in Romania, so perhaps we can join your network, even you are in the southeast of Romania, I'm in the northeast, but anyway, we are in Romania. Can we?
We'll be more than happy, of course, yes.
Okay, okay. I will come later on with information related to this, but I think this element that you mentioned, this family on support, employment services, is very important. And we found particularly this, one of the barrier, I have to confess to you that one of the barrier for employment, it was family. Because the family don't want to lose the minimum income come from the state instead of a big salary for a job, because they think, oh, I'm old and I don't know if my son or my daughter will be able to survive after that. But they don't take in consideration they are old and they will not be able to protect them forever. And in the end, if we will not give independent living skills to these people will end up on institution. And this is the big drama, because we are talking about youngsters with a lot of skills, even they have a disability certificate, but we are not able to implement them on the labor market because it's not secured. I don't know, I think we have to talk and work, Nico, with you on this policy, because one of our, let's say, output of the end of the project will be policy, white book of youth employment. So we really want to get in close with you and try to mobilize all the decision factors to change this legal aspects first, and then I think will be a long program to change the mentality. But this is I will work with you for the next 20 years, and we can manage.
Yes, we're not fighting anybody, Vasile. Luckily for us, as I said, there's a lot of people that are open, and such attitudes, it's so difficult to overcome some situations, but there are people eager to get all the help they can get in order for their daughters, sons or daughters to contribute and live an independent life.
And decent. I think it's important to have also a decent life, because we are, I saw some of your interview with the representative of the National Authority for People with Disability, and we are talking about decent life. And congratulations, Nico, because I think you are doing also a good part to the policy. And anyway, Constanța is closer to Bucharest than Suceava.
We're trying to build up for the future as much as possible. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Vasile.
I think this self-help groups, it's very innovative aspect that we would like to dig on it, and maybe we can really build within our WISE network again this model, because we really are looking for these tips and these methods that we really can reach this target group. Thank you again, Nico, for this fantastic presentation. Very short, but very essential. We really like to work with you, and special on this supported employment providers, and we recognize these local stakeholders are very, very important. We consider also this is not project for us, for our organization, it's project for community, and we must, at least this we can do it, we must teach the whole community this. It's need to be a together effort to involve this golden mind, I can say, because really bring this selection of needs. I couldn't imagine we have so many valuable needs on the market without any support, without any even without any statistics, because even our authority don't have enough resources to implement the statistic and account these people. I cannot go further, as Marianne already did, on the rural area, where the situation is much, much worse. Okay, I'll move a little bit to the next speakers, and we are quite close to the end, but not before to say greetings and welcome to the Gania from Maramureș, Mrs. Gania, Ilias from Athens. I really invite you to keep writing on chat, because we have 52 participants right now, and some of them left, but they apologize because they have different meetings. Lăcrămioara from secondary school from rural area, Mrs. Horvat from Suceava, Arsenia from social psychiatry from Greece. I know they are one of our stakeholders committee members from our Cipetic in Greece, and say greetings. And Mrs. Koțovanu from Suceava School Inspectorate, also Mrs. Kulidiuk from Special School from Romania. So we have different participants. Even we try to keep it just between us, but we enlarged the link and invitation, so we couldn't stop them to come on. The next project, I'm going to Călin, Dorin Călin, which is operational director and joined the Junior Achievement Romanian team in 2006. In Romania, we call JAR. It's very well-known organization that are activating, and special on youngsters and support youngsters with different creativity workshops and external programs and so on. But about Dorin, beside that, he's very active during our meetings, and we appreciate this. He has an extensive experience in implementing and managing international projects, being project manager for 5 European grants, including NEET and entrepreneurship, supported by EEA and Norway Grants Fund for Youth Employment. Dear my friend, you have the floor.
Thank you, Vasi. Can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, yes, yes. Perfect.
Okay, excellent. thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to seeing you all here again. Unfortunately, we're not face to face, but we will do that on different occasions. Now, I think our keyword for the project that we're doing and for the situation that we are in is mainly adaptation. As most of the things that we have done throughout this period of the project was more to adapting what we have done and the type of intervention that we were thinking to the actual conditions, because yes, we have moved all the activities in an online environment, but things are a lot different in the online environment. It's not the same thing as you're holding a training face-to-face and you can interact with the participant because you feel them differently. Some of the needs are hiding behind their cameras, so not always activating their visual. So it's a little bit different in working with them than in a face-to-face meeting. So one of the things that we have tried to do with our project as we were getting them towards the entrepreneurship is coming back a little bit to the basics in seeing what are the skills and attitudes that they mostly miss in this period. And yes, we have looked at the statistics and the numbers, and we have started in lowering a bit not the expectations, but the type of skills that we need to work with them. So we have started with digital skills, as it was a quite big component that we didn't consider before. I mean, digital skills, I'm referring from how to make a Word and Excel file to how to work in an online environment, because if they're starting a business, they need to work with documents, they need to find out what their clients are about, they need to communicate. So basically seeing how we can transfer all these business type skills to the young people. So that's why adaptation was a big thing that we have focused on. While looking at the intervention, we have also looked at some other focused target groups. So basically, for example, in Bulgaria, they have worked also with deaf people, which was not originally designed, but it was a good and empowering type of intervention, as we are looking at the people that most need the things that we are doing at the moment. So basically, we have also tried to look at other type of target groups. Also, two of the countries that we are working with, Italy and Spain, as you know, they are hit quite hard by the virus. So basically, with a lot of cases throughout the day not being to come in the streets or to do a lot of the activities. So then we have looked on how we can get these young people and their families close to the education programs. Yes, the families do play an important role on that, and also trying to see some of the activities that they can do either as a startup, or they can do as a job. So basically using their skills and doing it as a job, like like mechanics, like different other type of skills. Also, we have tried to see how we can increase a little bit the visibility and what we are doing throughout the program, as we have moved in the online. At the beginning, we found it a little bit easier to notice these young people and to be able to somehow track them. But later on, we have found out that the effort that the organization is putting towards the actually getting the needs on board and working with them in this online environment is 10 times harder than the usual recruitment that we were doing. So basically, we have adapted also the type of recruitment that we're doing, either through different partners, either through specialized organization, or trying to see the local places that these needs are, and trying to see how we can get them on board. Also, an important thing that we have noticed, and I mean, that's one of the good things about Junior Achievement. Us being an international organization, we are looking a lot on the partnerships that can create added value to the projects and to the things we are doing. And we definitely know that we are not good in everything. So basically, we have tried to look at the companies on the market that can get those resources to these young people. Otherwise, creating those type of resources would have been very difficult for us. So when we're looking at digital skills, we have to talk with companies like, like Microsoft or Google, which already have these type of digital skills embedded in their online trainings. And we have used these online trainings in order to get to NEET. We have looked at the companies like Nestle or different other companies which have different learning programs for their employees as a starting point, and we have looked on how we can use those type of intervention or skills to these people. Also, we have looked at the digital skills for business like HP is doing, and we have tried to deliver those courses as well. So creating this type of partnerships was a bit helpful for us, as otherwise we wouldn't have managed to do all these type of resource creating. We have worked with a lot of teachers from local level or local influencers, because people are locally, and due to the pandemics, we can no longer be locally. We are from Bucharest, which is 100 kilometers away from any other cities throughout the country. So we try to see which are the local actors that can help us in working and do this customization with us. Also, we were looking at some of the industries which are adapting to the pandemics, and see how we can feed these people based on the jobs that are required at the moment. So basically looking on industries like courier or different other industries which are growing, and try to feed these people, because they don't have the highest skills, try to feed them with this type of position. So basically seeing where they fit best within the current situation. Also, one of the things that we were quite successfully doing in the last period was the business development. And that was a good process, as we have also mentored the young people on how to deal with this market situation. And we have somehow directed them for some of the areas that they can actually develop a successful business in these times, like agriculture, like doing different type of services that they can provide for the others. So basically looking at the market as a whole, and how they, with their skills, can bring added value on the market. If you have any questions or need any information about our project, we'll be more than happy to share or to discuss with you all. So thank you again for invitation.
Thank you very much, Călin. I have to tell you that Călin and Nicu are not just, let's say, partners on the same program, but on the meantime, we call each other a lot to ask how you do this, how you report that, and especially during the reports, we are very close in cooperation. And this is because FO, and especially CORIS Poland, permit us to be flexible, to be open, to be friendly, and not really get struggling with very rigid rules, and not allowed us to communicate and to cooperate. I remember even from the beginning when Gianluca and says, you are in competition. You are there, you don't have to be so, but after that, we discovered that, okay, we are in competition. We know very well our mission and how to reach our target group. But if we will not cooperate, I think we will not have a successful us as individually and the whole program after 3 years. So really, I didn't feel any time as in competition with Dorin with Niku, with Marianne, with Andrej, we feel really to dig for solution for the same target group. And really, I appreciate this. And this was maybe one more reason why we decide at our administration to do this webinar. And of course, we are looking to do it in the future, not stopping here, because we are 27 leaders of very good projects. And I would really like to find out the essence, really the essence of the project, which really can be transferred one to another and to implement easily, because we are working for people. All of us are offering support services, and I think it's very important to recognize this among to our partnership. Dorin, I understand from your project that local partnership and influencers, this is another tricky word, which I really like it, make the difference on your project. And I have to recognize that I face exactly the same situation like you. And without support of our local stakeholders committee, as we called in the project, because we tried to build this unique commission, we couldn't implement so far our project and let's say on the stage that it's right now. So we have very close cooperation with the Federation of National Organization for Social Services Providers, and they are participating today on this meeting. We have a very close cooperation on ombudsman. This is people advocate. I don't know exactly the English word, ombudsman, yes. And they are here also today. We have cooperation with the Roma national organization, working with needs coming from Roma community. And we have very close our partner from Spain, but also Human Catalyst from Romania. We have Suceava Prefecture, which is the representative of our government and the territory that really support us, not just with experts, but also trying to get in touch with employers, and especially with the people, the key person that can place and receive our needs that we select. And not on the end, we have a massive support from Labor Office. And I have to tell you why massive support. First, because we have a long cooperation with them, but second, we have a national program on supporting apprenticeship as a model. So it's coming very, very good with our project model that employers receive subvention from the state if they take apprenticeship, if they take needs on employment training. Of course, the apprenticeship, it's not full employment, but really give us a hand on implementing our support measures. So I'm 100% agree with you, Dorin, about this local partnership and influencers. It's very, very important to be recognized. I was noticed that our dearest president of Social Firms Europe, Cipetic, is here with us, Felicitas Kresimon. And Cipetic, I have to tell you that it's our supporting partners. It's not including on the legal partner, but she's here. And maybe you want to say something, Felicitas, because you've been invited to speak on to our advisors on the next period. So I'm doing introduction now. So you are the president of one of the largest umbrella organization in European Union, and not only because you have members in Japan and Israel as well. But I will let you to say something, because if I do full introduction, I'm out of time.
Okay, hello to everyone. I'm a little bit surprised. I was not prepared to say something, but I'm very happy that I could assist to this meeting, because of course I'm the president of Social Firms Europe Cipetic, and the most challenge we are working on since 4 years is to create opportunities of work integration for people from vulnerable groups. So we are working very hard now, not only between from grassroots to European level. As most of you perhaps know, next year the European Commission will work on the action plan of the social European rights of pillars, and So it's very important in this moment that we have very clear which are our challenges and which we want to bring also on a European level in order to have more support and coordination between all of our organizations. So I'm really happy to assist in this moment, because I saw that there are really a lot of very interesting best practices, and it's very good that there are contexts like this where we could exchange this and coordinate and bring it to from the grassroots level to the European level. So good work to everyone, and I hope we will have other opportunities also in the context of the European network to cooperate together.
Thank you very much, Felicitas. And we have to say that next year you organize a conference in Brussels, and hopefully we can join, because all the CEPAL members, the partners, Bukovina Institute, Pereclosa from Spain, JSP from Lithuania, Kispediadromes from Greece, and Collegium Balticum from Poland, they will join this annual CEFE conference, because our model is very much linked with social enterprise model and supporting service on the job, adapting job, a lot of words that was keywords even today on the webinar. The time is running so fast, and even we have just 5 projects invited to speak today. I would like to have more, but it's not possible on online. Definitely will be possible to invite you in Bukovina, all 27, and make a big outside and outdoor event. But now we are focused just on online. And I have a question to you, dear friends and partners. Can you write on chat another 4 projects that we're gonna invite next time that you are remember from the program? Because I would like to continuing this kind of events. If you have in mind another project financed by EE and Norway grants through this youth employment program, please write on chat and we can facilitate and invite those speakers on the next event. I don't know when we'll organize the next event. Definitely we will do it this year, even we have 6 weeks left, but we will do it this year because we really want to get close with the program. It's not an objective written on CEPAL project, I have to tell you this, but it is for us as an example to find out more about these methods, because we will not invite the wheel. We would like to put together this set of tools that you're gonna use with youngsters and with youth employment. And I have to tell you that through the Erasmus program, we learned so much on the last 20 years. And through the flexible program like e-grants we put in practice a lot of what we learned with Erasmus. So I'm so happy that we find these common tools and common ideas on putting together these nice best practices. Thank you very much for your participation again. Thank you very much for your time, because looking to the participants, we have 51. So that means just 4 left for good reason. Even we didn't force anyone to come and to stay with us during 90 minutes. I will not close down before to give the floor to Marga or to somebody else from FO, Ecoris, and also to have a ceremony of closure with Grethe, because these are the validation of our work in the end. Marga, you have the floor first.
Thank you very much, Vasi. It was a pleasure to listen to you all. Thank you very much for organizing this webinar, and thanks also for keeping this this idea for including maybe other projects in your meetings. Having this opportunity, I would like to say to you that although it will not be a face-to-face meeting, we will organize an annual seminar for all of us and all of you, because we need to meet you and we love to meet you. We really have a lot of pleasure. We take a lot of pleasure and a lot of pride of participating in such meetings, seeing how you progress, seeing what you do with your project. So there will be an annual seminar organized by DFO sometime in mid-December, just before Christmas. Although, unfortunately, taking into consideration the pandemic situation, we will not be able to meet face-to-face and drink slivovica or palinka and eat the sweets that you bring with yourselves every time we meet in person. But hopefully next year, the annual seminar will take place in a regular manner when we meet in face-to-face. We have 2 days with each other and we can share our good practices and success. For now, we are restricted to meeting online, but still it was a pleasure to see and hear you all.
Thank you very much, Marga, and greetings to all the team and to Gianluca, and big hug from us, all of us. I will give the floor to Grethe to, let's say, to close this nice ceremony, but then I have to give another floor to a very special person which really supports us a lot. But please, Grethe, because I promised.
Thank you so much, and thank you all of you who have made presentations. This has been a wonderful afternoon. I have learned so much, and I feel really pepped, because there are so many good examples, so much good practice. You are working so hard, and what is shining through is your skills and your competence and your faith and ambition. And it's really motivating to listen to all of you. And I feel so proud that we have such good projects within this Fund for Youth Employment. And I have taken a lot of notes, and there are so much I could refer to, and also, I also have some questions here and there. So maybe I'll come into contact with you later. But I have to say that this has been such a nice webinar, and of course it's always nice to meet in persons, but now we can meet from everywhere in Europe, and we can still see each other, so it's the second best. So thanks again, and I hope to meet you all before soon.
Thank you very much, Grethe, and thank you because you're always following us, even on Facebook and on other devices, and I see you are sharing the best practices and you inspire us. We need this validation from FO. We have to say that. We need especially now in the period when everything is closed down and everything is pressure on us, extra that the project, we need this feedback. Of course, the validation is needed not just on the FO and financial support. We need the validation and recognition on our land. And I have here Diana Chiriacescu, our director of Federation of Organization for Social Services. And I think Diana can really make a validation of our model in Romania. This apprenticeship model that I started talking on the National Federation since 3 years ago when I started the idea. So please, Diana, you will have the last floor this afternoon.
Oh, Vasi, thank you. It's an honor for me. I was not prepared at all, but I'm so happy because as you feel, these colleague of ours from Suceava is bringing so much energies and ideas and good competencies and skills in these processes that he and you inspire us a lot. We are very proud to be here with you and share these experiences with you. And of course, our federation is a very good vehicle, motor to roll the snowball forward and to share these examples with our colleagues at national level. We have a national envergure. I think it's an umbrella of organizations that's very active at national level. And I must also share with you the fact that in Romania, recently all major social federations of NGOs from different social sectors, children, disabled persons, youth, etc., decided to come together under a single umbrella, which is will be called the social platform in Romania, obviously for reasons of similarities with the social platform in Brussels. And we hope in this way to make sure that your good examples, practices, recommendations, and advices for our colleagues in the NGO sector will become in this way more effective and will be disseminated more effectively to everybody at national level and hopefully at European level as well. So congratulations and a big sign of support from our side for your work. We are very honored to be in your company and to listen to your innovative examples and hard work and detailed documented examples for this sector, which is so difficult and challenging in all our countries. Congratulations to you all. Very happy to be here and good luck for the coming months.
Thank you, Diana. I didn't expect also that you will participate directly because I know you are very much involved with the ministries and so on, especially on this period. But thank you for this.
Could not skip it, believe me.
Thank you for this participation, and thank you to Felicitas Kresimon also from the CEFEC network and to you. We got the energy from you. So for this reason, we need such events, even it's online. So we try to give energy, but we need energy as well. So all these good projects really give us courage to go on, to apply for any kind of funds. It's coming under EU and Norway grants because it's really nice and flexible program. And I really encourage for those who didn't try yet to do it. And not in the end, I want to say that Alina Adomnica from Bukovina Institute, Andrej Korosec from University from TUI, Mary Ann from Raise Youth Project in Croatia, GTF, Niku from Health Action Overseas, and Dorin Călin from Junior Achievement are always open to you for any kind of information or resources that you gonna need. I already noticed that I have 3 nominations for the next webinar, and thank you, Marianne, and thank you, my colleagues. So we will have Mommypreneur next time. We'll have a project, I think, lead from Cyprus, from Anadolosi. I don't know exactly the project, what happened. And we have Fall project as well. So thank you very much for these 3 nominations. I will find together with my colleague the 4th one, and I will let you know if you are interested to participate. Have a nice afternoon and keep healthy. We need you. Thank you.